All right, it is Wednesday, which means joining us for Lifestyle Strategy Team, our senior manager, Olivia Ih, joins us in the studio. Olivia, hello.
Hello.
Oh boy, we got some fun stuff to talk about.
Socializing and building networks. Yeah.
Your MBTI,
Oh,
it's an E. It's definitely
it is
E.
definitely. I always get messed up. I think it's ENTJ.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think so. But I always,
ENTJ?
each time I do it, because people ask me, each time I do it, it just comes out differently. But it starts with the E, definitely.
I've done it 3 times and I got the same thing over
really?
again. And the crazy thing is, everything is the same except for one. You are ENTJ.
I think so. Something like that.
I'm INTJ.
You're I?
I'm an I.
Wow, you're a fake introvert.
Yes. No, I'm not a fake introvert. I'm a fake E, as in like I tried to show that I'm an E on broadcasting. I can't be an I. I can't be an introvert on broadcasting.
Okay, but when you go to clubs and everything, I know you used to party a lot.
I did.
Were you like in your corner sipping your glass of your
See,
cocktail?
that's why I
or
didn't
what?
dance.
Oh, you're just like drinking. If for you, it's just like
No, I
socializing.
went to
and
nightclub,
drinking.
and then like the waiter would bring me the
young
ladies, and then you like sit her down, and then
And
like
then you don't know what to do.
I didn't, but then I forced myself to talk.
Okay.
And so
And then you became
I
more
learned
extrovert.
I learned not to be I. And so there's the real I me and then E me. So for me, it's very hard to make new friends.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay. So I guess you're an I only when you go back home and you just don't want to talk, right? You just
I don't
say,
wanna talk.
I'm an I, you know?
So on broadcast, so that's why a lot of people get like surprised when they say that I'm an I. You're definitely E.
Yeah, I am an E, yeah.
For sure.
And
So-
all my friends used to call me like madangpal, which means like I know everyone, literally everyone.
no, you seem to like you know everybody.
But I mean, now I go out less than before because of the kids. But I do like socializing, going out. I don't drink actually. You know, I think we.
I know we were
mentioned that.
talking about this. I was like, oh, she's from France. I was like, let's get
don't-
some French Bordeaux.
I don't drink, but I talk a lot.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
So I mean, yeah, it's one aspect. I really enjoy like being with people. I'm curious, learning about what they do,
Right.
you know, where they come from and all these things. So yeah, I do spend a lot of time usually meeting new people. And anywhere, I mean, I socialize anywhere. Even like waiting for the bus, I start talking. I'm a really big E. It's an E with
Oh,
a
so much respect.
capital
I can't do
letter.
that. I can't do that.
I was like, oh, it's so cold. Even to grandmother and grandfather, you know, like old people, you know, I would say, oh, 날씨 춥죠, and you know, just start talking with them.
You know,
I was
like in
yeah.
Korean, 신기해. Like it's so amazing. Like I don't know how people do that stuff. I can't. I really can't. Unless like there's like a mic in front of me,
Or you have, oh, okay.
yeah, like a microphone in front of me or something like that, and it's my job, then I'll do it.
Yeah, it's
But
your-
I can't do that stuff. So before we get into how Koreans socialize, and I think this is a very important thing, and I think where you socialize, how you socialize also depends on your age.
Yes, absolutely.
Gender
the
as
way
well.
you talk to them. We would say if I meet a new person, I would say, "Oh, well, which year are you born in?"
Yeah.
You know, that's the Korean way of doing it. I was
Right.
very surprised when I said, "Which year am I born in?"
You know what I
like-
do nowadays? You know
do
how
you say?
everyone does the 빠른?
Yeah.
Like the early.
Oh, early.
I always go, I'm 늦은, late.
You're late.
I'm a December baby. You know there is no 늦은,
yes,
right? So
okay.
there is no late. But that's my icebreaker. I'll just be like, 나 저는 늦은.
But does that
86이에요.
help when you say, if you say I'm a late?
And then they go like, 그런 거 없어. You know, there's nothing like that. And then the
Yeah.
conversation kind of starts and stuff like that. And I pretend I'm younger than I really am. But I want to ask you, because we're going to talk about where most Koreans do sort of socialize and stuff like that. Again, 마당밭,
Yeah.
마당발, you know everybody.
I
Just
mean,
about
that's-
anywhere is a social venue for you. Where do you usually meet people for the first time and become friends?
I think it's mostly at parties. That's where I met my husband, actually. It was
Parties?
It was at a party. It was
What
at
parties?
a friend's, you know, like birthday parties, like
Oh.
happy hours. I would just attend like an event and start talking with people. Just,
have a
just
lot of
very
events like
naturally.
that?
I have a lot. I mean, as an influencer, I get invited to many different kind
That's
of events, right?
right.
So my work helps me to mingle with people in the diplomatic, you know, sector or
yeah.
sphere, and then I have my Instagram, you know, my what do I say, my you know, like influencer, kind of identity, which helps me to meet new people, to go to different kind of venues, and like recently I was in a French cosmetic, you know, brand event, and a friend told me, oh, there are Chinese influencers over there. They're invited from China for the launching, and I was like, really, Chinese influencers? I'm gonna go speak in Chinese with them, practice my Chinese, like, and I went there, and people were like she's probably crazy, you know. Like I was like, hi, ni hao, and then I studied in China, and I actually did become a very close friend with one of the girls, Nana, yeah, and then she lives in Korea, so we just practice. She practices Korean with me, and I practice Chinese with her.
That's so great.
I mean, yeah, life is just. I mean,
it
it's
takes a
open.
lot.
Yeah.
See, I see that too because like my wife is an E. And so she's so good with meeting new people. Like she has no problem whatsoever. And she's always kind of like, striking conversations and
I
things
think
like that.
ladies are more comfortable with that. If you put
yeah?
4 ladies in like a studio like this where we would talk, we would start talking. If you put 4 guys like this, unless there's someone like you, then they would not know what to say. 되게 뻘쭘하다, like.
You're in a very unique situation where you have like a 9-to-6 job, but also you're an influencer, which gets you invited to a lot of events and things like that. But like a typical Korean,
right?
For a typical mom, it's very hard to
really
socialize and find
places,
that.
Yeah.
But I realized some of the closest friends turn out to be what's called 조리원 동기, which is the postnatal service.
Yes.
Dongi is like friends, like people who came in at the same time. That's a big thing in Korea. But you never went to that.
So I went
you went
to
once.
that once, but the funny thing, that's the only place I didn't socialize. So it's like completely reversed, right? So I used to be a social butterfly in any other places, but the only place I didn't socialize was the postpartum, care center, because I just wanted to be with the baby. I didn't want to do, yoga outside or talk. I was just tired. I was just doing my stuff with the baby, breastfeeding and all that. And I took some massage and that was it. And the 2 weeks were gone, But I have a few friends, they stayed 2 weeks. They loved it so much. They extended for another 2 weeks. And they know all the mothers.
Right. So now you have like 2 sets of groups.
조리원 동기,
Yeah.
Basically, I think even for the men, it would be, military service. When they go to military service, they get, close.
Oh, yeah.
sometimes.
I mean, you were there for like, 18 months together and stuff like that.
Yeah,
And it's-
living, eating, sleeping together. I guess that really helps. And so I guess 조리원 is kind of that idea.
Because they have something in common to talk about, right? I mean, going through
labor,
months,
going through pain.
labor,
and you can talk about all these things, how hard it was. And you really get close to, when you go through those hardships, you really get close to that person because you share the same things.
Because I've noticed, I didn't go often to the postnatal care center because I'm outside and stuff like that. I would visit time to time, but it was still... Like COVID was still around, and so they were very cautious with people from outside coming in. So I didn't really get to go often. But I heard that like there's like a lounge area, and then people, all the moms talking.
Calm and
so my wife recently, it was our second child, and so everyone's like, "Oh my goodness, you've gone through this already," and so they're all asking her questions. I would have thought that because 3 children.
Yeah.
They would have like all went to you and be like, 선배님, what's the deal here? And that's a very good way to kind of socialize and they get to know each other. So
I guess it's because they know they cannot socialize any other elsewhere than the 조리원, maybe,
Yeah.
But I had plenty of places to go even after, I went to yoga retreat center. So I did yoga and I really want to socialize with people who share the same leisures as me.
Yeah. Speaking of which, another big sort of social gathering is like the pet gatherings, right? Which kind of starts off, if you have like a big park in the area, you just kind of go by and it turns out everyone goes to the park
pet gardens
and
and
then,
like for cafes for the pets and everything.
That's a big thing.
That's a big thing too. I mean, it's quite a big business. I know some people who own those kind of places and like hotels for pets. When they go on vacation, they put them and they love it. Not the kids, they're kids, but I mean they're pets, right? But they become friends like that. Yeah.
Here's one that I would never be a part of.
Which is 개모임?
개모임?
I thought it was dogs meeting actually. No,
it could
really,
be. There
진짜.
could be.
When my friend told me, "Oh, do you do 개모임?" I was like, "No, I don't have any pet. I'm sorry, I can't." I was like, "No. 개모임 doesn't mean that. It means like it's a group.
It's the
a saving.
Yeah, it's money
gathering, right?" And I did eventually enter one when I was in my mid 20s.
You joined?
Yeah. It was really good actually because it helped us to meet regularly. If not, it's hard to meet, So we were meeting once a month. I think we were paying about 200 US dollar, I get 20만 원, something like that. And we were 5. So we had like 100만 원. And
every month.
Yeah, and you take, it's a rotation system. So you get 1 million, 1 million. So $1,000 each time, every month.
Right.
So, it just,
so if it's your turn, you get the $1,000.
you're so happy. You're like, yeah, what am I going to do with this?
But then the thing with this is you have to be careful who you join this Kimling with.
I know. I heard so many bad stories about like people who just disappear with a big bulk of money.
Yeah, because it's like let's say it's like the first month, right?
Yeah, we were only doing like $200, right?
Which is okay.
But people who do like, imagine, big amounts, like
big
4
amount of
million,
people.
and it becomes a big amount.
Yeah.
But I heard at that time, about 20 years ago, it helped mother to even send their kids to school, tuition fees and everything, because it was big amount of money. And now it's less common.
It is less common, I feel like,
yeah.
because I know we're going to talk about this later on, but it's harder. I feel like it's getting harder and harder to like gather. Like social gatherings
true.
become
Yeah.
Okay, so it's become easier and harder at the same time.
Because of SNS too. Now you meet people through SNS. There are so many applications you can meet, new people. So I guess those kind of meetings, they become less and less popular, and they like new kind of, I became friends with a few of my followers, very, strange. It's funny
Right.
because they keep on posting stuff,
That's the other crazy thing is like
I'm sure you never talk to your followers separately from radio.
Well,
Right?
I don't have a lot of followers in the first place.
Paulina, who's like following you and us.
Yeah.
She's really active.
I met Paulina. I met Paulina in London. When we went to London for a documentary shooting, I actually met Paulina.
See, so in some ways, you don't socialize with everyone, but you socialize with the right people.
Because I've known her through, I guess, YouTube chat and stuff like that. Like I knew she was a listener for such a long time, and she wasn't going to kidnap me and kill me or anything like that. So I knew it was all right, and I knew she was a good person, and so I met. But that's the other thing. It's like when you're a influencer with that many followers, like I noticed you just like you converse with all of them, and like Hedang, one of our guests on Monday's show, she was like, oh my goodness, the other day I messaged Olivia and she was like, yeah, let's go out for chicken.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We have to fix a date for dinner.
I was like, you messaged Olivia? And she responded right away.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and she's like, I'm so excited. I'm like,
yeah.
I wonder if she does this for everybody.
Almost everyone, yeah. I answer almost to everyone. All my DMs, I'm like, so it depends what kind of, how they approach and what they say and everything. But if it's like a question about, right now I'm learning French, I don't know what's the best method, and those I really like giving tips and helping out people. So even when a friend asks me to introduce someone, for example, we're talking about socializing. She was like, oh, do you know someone in this industry? I was like, yeah, I'll hook you up. Immediately I will send the cacao and everything. And sometimes, so the other day, I send the contact number before I even said to the person that the person was going to call. And that guy answers like, I don't know any Olivia. I'm sorry. And he just like, so this morning I had to send a message. I was like, I'm so sorry. I didn't have time to mention, but that person was going to call you for this. Because you're so busy, you want to help people, and sometimes you just send the contact number.
I heard that in Korea that is like the new way to socialize now through SNS and like just DMing.
I think so.
Our writer Angela was saying that now guys, when they try to pick up girls, what they just do is they go like sometimes like you on your feed you see
that happened
random
with
people.
a very famous actor.
Oh,
not long ago.
And so what they do is, hey, I like your photo. I like your photos, or like I'm interested in that too, and they do small talk.
Oh yeah, they do. Yeah,
and
especially with girls who are into like wellness, health.
Yeah.
Body exposure, wearing either bikinis or like doing Pilates or that's like the typical kind of. They're very attractive. Even as a woman, you find them very attractive.
Right.
You want to join. I actually joined a center very recently near my house where I saw the photos. I was like, I want to do this. I want to be with all these girls. I want to do it. And so I ended up going there. I was like, actually, I'm a fan of yours. I'm so happy that you came to our center. This is how, and it's a very small society. Korea is very small.
No,
like 건너.
But you're strangers. See, like for me, it's such an odd thing because you're strangers.
Yeah.
And because the other time, because I'm into wine, right? And so a random post came up and it was a wine that I was looking for, and I couldn't find it anywhere.
Oh.
And so I messaged her.
Okay.
I didn't even do DM. I just did the
tech,
right?
yeah.
What is it? under
comment.
comment. There
Yeah,
you go.
yeah.
And I was like, can you tell me where you got this wine? I'm really looking for it. You know what she wrote? She's like, I got a boyfriend. I was like, huh?
Very straightforward.
And
right?
so I found out later on through Angela that these days, what the way that people socialize is by putting up random comments. And then I think she went into my thing and realized that there was like no wine related stuff posted. I only put wine stuff on stories.
Oh, that was a way just to cut short and say, okay, I have a boyfriend. You know?
Yeah,
I had it from
yeah.
my boyfriend.
Well, I was like, well, I'm married with 2 kids. Like, I really want to know where she.
Right.
And she apologized. She was like, well, I got it from so and so, blah blah blah. And then I told Angela, I was like, it's so weird. And she's like, no, that's a thing these days. People socialize through social media.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, for example, me, I love golf, I love sports and everything. If I message a guy professional, the person see my post, he see a husband, 3 kids, he's like, okay, she's safe, like I can answer that person.
It's
So,
crazy.
Yeah, in general, I do get answers and I do give, reply to all my followers too.
We're gonna continue to talk about socializing. I think we could learn a lot. I can learn a lot from Olivia through this. But first, let's take a listen to a song here from 여자친구 with My Buddy 기억해. All right, the last track there, 여자친구, My Buddy 기억해. And I need to 기억해 this. Remember how to socialize in Korea. All right, so when you first get to know someone, Olivia, here in Korea, what kind of questions do people normally ask you? Like, what am I supposed to expect?
Well, it really depends if it's a Korean who you're socializing with a Korean or like a foreigner. I act totally differently,
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, if I'm with a Korean, I go really Korean, like 몇 년생이에요, 뭐 어디서 어떤 공부를 하고 어디서 일을 해요. Like I'm pretty straightforward. When I'm with like foreigners, we talk about, I mingle into the discussion, what they're talking about, and I just interfere kind of. So it's hard for me to, socialize one-on-one, but socialize with a group of people, there's no problem for me usually. That's, how I do. And it's the easiest way to do it. You just, come in and talk to different people. I was like, oh, I wanted to introduce you to this person. This person is doing like makgeolli or whatever. And then everybody starts talking, right? So I like really bringing people and introducing them to other. That makes... that's like actually my I don't know if it's a tip or my tactic or whatever, but I usually, rather than talking myself first, I bring someone. I was like, okay, this person, it will be great if you guys meet together because he's in this industry and maybe you could guys chat along.
If you do that to me, I might start breaking out in sweats.
진짜.
If you like bring me to a group of people and go like, hey, this is SJ, I work with them, I'm gonna be like,
really?
I can't do that. But
And funny thing is, like, many people contact me after that. I was like, you know what? We went each after, and this person is coming to my conference next week, and they're like, I'm great. That's the best thing ever that can happen,
Oh my goodness.
And it's nice because you hear back from them, the person you introduced me, I didn't even know they were hanging out. They got even closer, than I was with that person.
When the only mo임 group that I'm part of right now is a
wine club.
Yes, wine club. It's a wine club. And so because there's like 60 or so members, and when you have a meeting, it's only with like 6 as much as 10.
Small groups, yeah.
And like I'm relatively new. I joined like last year, towards the end of last year. And so because there's like also new members, you have to go around and say who you are, how old you are, what you do. The worst, I can't do that. So
but wine helps.
Yes,
so
it does. So I have to go like, hey, can I have that right now? Can I just have some more right now? And so it takes time. But I realized that Koreans, when they're in a social gathering, the one name, age
usually,
and where you work too.
Yeah, where you work, where you live, or which university you went to.
Oh,
These
really?
are like,
I
guess, like, yeah. Oh,
yeah. What kind of gatherings do you
like,
go
for example, I was like, oh, 고대 나왔어요? Oh, 나도, and they like, I was like,
have that.
And
That's
you feel
a big
like chemistry
thing.
is a big deal in Korea, right?
That's a big thing.
Yeah, I think it doesn't happen in France, even if you're from the same university, because the campus, is a bit different. The style it works. It doesn't work the same way as Korea.
But then for us, because like we studied abroad and we're not from here.
Yeah.
But that also becomes a topic of conversation, right?
Yeah.
They just be like, because I was like, oh,
where in the States, or, when you posted something not long ago on social media, you say, oh, this is where I used to play basketball, or this is
yeah.
I mean, like, people relate.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, SJ, he studied, like, he's not from California, but he's like from the East Side, or like the East Coast, right? Those kind of things. So people, they make connection. It's like, oh, maybe I could introduce him to this person who studied pretty much at the same year, same time. They probably have things in common. What helped me a lot to socialize with people at first when I came to Korea is like, I did not know how to do 존댓말. Yeah,
really?
I did not. I mean, like those honorific and the language level, I did not know. So I was like, "Oh, 밥 먹었어?" And like, "Oh, 밥 먹자." Like it was very straightforward, very direct. Like, and I had my worst experience at ARIRANG when I was working at the production team. Somebody came in and was looking for some 차장님. And it's like, 김 차장 밥 먹으러 나갔어, or something like that. I was like, 다 뻥 터졌어. The people who were there, like, Olivia, you have to use 존댓말 now. 이제 존댓말 배워야 되겠다.
But did you get the foreigner pass though?
Yeah, I did. I did for a few years. Honestly, I did. And I'm grateful for that, because I mean, that's how I really, slowly, gradually thought that, I have to learn Korean properly.
There was an incident in Arirang this was like about more than 10 years ago now.
Okay.
He's Korean American. I'm not going to say who it is.
Okay.
He's not here anymore,
Yeah.
but he's Korean American. And he was trying to call over a person who's like a 차장님.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Okay. So same case as me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Almost.
But he was in charge of what's called ANS, the Arirang
Okay.
news system.
Oh, okay.
And so he goes, ANS, 여기, right? I mean, he's like something 차장님. And then
Okay.
everybody's eyes were
I
like,
was like, oh my God.
and then someone had to come and say he's like 교포. And then for the longest time, there was
He
like
had,
this
like-
bad thing for 교포s.
like
and then I was a
attack.
교포 too. And I was like,
right. Yeah.
is that why you don't, 인사, you don't
It's
greet?
like,
I was like, it's just because I'm an I. It's an
So you
I.
had a way. Oh, yeah. No, for me, that helped me. I mean, not in the work sphere, but that helped me really socialize outside of that, because it was 반말. She's like, oh, she's doing 반말. Let's do 반말. And, we became very,
Which is why now that I come to think of it, I'm less of an I when there's like non-Koreans. If it's like Koreans, I
Yeah.
turn very I.
I put yo everywhere. I put yo everywhere. 괜찮습니까요? Like,
what was
yo everywhere.
I want to say this very quickly. So Olivia, now it makes sense. Now it really makes sense, because I know you're older than me, right? I found out later on. I swore I thought she was younger than me, right? And then you knew I was younger than you.
Yeah.
And then she goes, 오빠는, right? And I was like,
Did I?
yeah,
Really?
you're like, 오빠는. I was like,
Yeah, that's a way of socializing, You always call them oppa or 언니s, But 언니, they would get
I was
offended.
like, does she not know? Do I need to mention again?
Because in my, among my friends, I have more oppas than I have 동생.
Oh,
so
okay,
these
okay,
days,
okay. That's why.
I have more, like a few 동생, but maybe like 5 close 동생. So younger than me, but all of them are like oppas. So I think it's a habit. Yeah.
Then that brings us to our next question. Then, if you're in like a gathering, is it more comfortable if there's people older than you or younger than you? Because also, if there's a lot of people who are younger than them, then you have to do like you have to take care of them.
I can't do with youngers.
Yeah?
I'm always with people older than me. I mean, even since I was 16, I think I always mingle with people older than me, at least 4 years older than me. I mean, that really helped me to, become very mature and like learn about, all these the hardships you go through when you start looking for a job, and those things, they kind of they become your mentors, right?
Because for me, I realized that in Korea at least, because there's the honorifics and like the respect kind of stuff, like when you're going to these socializing events, it's easier if you're older.
Yeah.
Because if you're with older people, not only do you have to be careful because they're, you haven't met them before and this is the first
but
time you're seeing
do
them.
반말 with the older people. I was like,
But that got you in
"오빠,
trouble.
빨리 가자, like, no, because they're very close. But it's true that now that I'm turning 40 this year, I tend to be more caring towards my, my younger friends.
Yeah.
Because I was so much cared by all my older oppas and 언nis that I feel I have to myself, I owe them something too because I benefited so much from this, kind of atmosphere. So I feel like, I have to like 챙겨줘야 되고 and then 좀 이뻐줘야 해줘야 되고, something like that. Yeah, kind of.
We're going to talk about more about all of this stuff. Socializing, but different aspects of socializing. Again, I'm learning a lot from Olivia. Maybe I just actually, that's what I do. I call everybody 언니.
You do? 누나.
No, I call it 언니. 언니. I call 언니. I just go 언니. Not 누나. I just go 언니 to everybody. But first, actually, you know what? Let's continue on with the discussion.
너무 예뻐. How about that song, right?
You know what I think it is? It's because I had a lot of dunas.
Yeah.
I used to hang out with a lot of like older female people. And then like, because I hear 언니 so much, I started just calling everybody 언니 and things like that. But you know what? Forget the song break here. Let's continue on with the discussions here. We don't even have a lot of time. Favors.
Yeah.
It's
it's
a very
common.
Yeah. And then so like in any society, asking for a favor,
Yeah.
accepting favor is a difficult thing and is part of socializing
Yeah.
here in Korea. Have you ever had a Korean friend ask you for a favor? And like what kind of favor would it be?
Many.
Usually?
Like because you're living here as a foreigner, people would think that you know German people, Russian people, Kazakh people. I mean, they would come to me and it's like, I need someone who can MC in Russian and Korean. Do you know someone? They like literally contact you and they say, it's like, I don't know, but I can figure it out. Even recently, my friend, she sent me a message. She's like, do you know this person? She's following you on Instagram. And it was like some of Korean celebrity. I was like, no, I don't follow her, but why? I was like, I was just wondering if you knew her. I was like, what, you need to know her? I can socialize with her. And she was like, 언니 진짜 짱이야. I mean, so I followed back, the girl who was following me. I was like, I can start talking with her. Why not? I mean, this is a new way of socializing these days.
Hey, Olivia, if I want to meet somebody, can I contact you and be like, hey, Olivia, do you know so and so? Is that? But then that's a weird favor, right? Like in entertainment, though.
Yeah, I'm being more careful these days because in Korea, doing a favor for someone is a good thing. But if it happens that those people start working together, it doesn't work out, then you get the blame. So you have to be very careful of who you introduce to the other person. So I'm like, yeah, sure, no problem. But you have to, just manage and see if everything's right or things like that, because you don't want to be mingle in that kind of, be in the, in between in that kind of situation.
You know how I recently introduced you to somebody? I had no doubt whatsoever. I had no doubt that you're going to do a fantastic job. Yeah. What other characteristics are there in like a Korean relationship? Because I realized that most of my socializing comes from work, and it's hard to kind of say that.
Right.
Like even with like work people, like can I call them friends, right? Because there's only like few people I would meet outside of work and things like that. But for me, I don't have a lot of friends in Korea.
Yeah, it's hard actually to have really like friends with who you talk about all kinds of topics.
Yeah, so like what characteristics are there in Korean relationships?
In the sense of like when you want to socialize with someone, or just talking just randomly about.
Just like in any cases, like I guess it could be like just a friendship, like a real friend stuff. Like what are things that constitute a real friend?
I think for me it all comes down to how can we be more, or how can we be happy in that moment. So we usually end up talking about health, working out, having a balanced lifestyle, taking time to go out with the kids. It almost evolves around that these days, because I don't mingle with people who have no kids at all these days. You kind of you grow up. And so you tend to do like couple dinners with people who have children. And so you kind of socialize with pretty much the same kind of people who are in the same kind of socializing sphere. I think that really helps because they're at about the same level, they went through about the same thing, they've been in Korea for the same number of years pretty much. You can really share a good friendship through that. And one important thing is like, I like socializing, but my husband is an I really try to take him out and say, okay, we're going to do this dinner with these people, right?
You don't know how difficult it is.
It's very hard. I know.
How difficult
now
it is.
I know your eye. It's super hard. It is actually it's a source of stress, because he started asking me like all these kinds of questions. So like he needs to know about the person before. I was like, just go and talk. It's funny. I was like, why should I meet those people? That's the first question. I was like, It's just about life. It's about enjoying life. It's like I prefer being at home with the kids and you go.
But is that you or most? How are most Koreans though? Like, are most Koreans open to meeting people, or is it like case by case again? MBTI.
I think it's really more case by case.
Yeah.
But as long as you're involving in those little like social clubs where you have like a particular leisure, you know, we talk about mountain climbing, you know, tennis and everything, then those people, they have the same passion, and they can, even if they're you know, they could talk for hours about, you know, what they like.
I think that's the big thing is like, as long as you have something in common with interests, because think about it, like one thing that like my mom now lives with me, right? And so one of the things she's like worried about is like, oh, you know, like who do I socialize? And I was like, Oma, don't worry. You know that park across the street?
Just go there.
There are so many 할머nis who are doing the same thing you're doing. Just taking the kid out to the playground. And that's all they talk about. And they converse and things like that, right? And so just like I'm able to open up to people in...
Sharing information also is very
information,
important.
which is why, like, you know, we talk about the, what is it, the postnatal centers and stuff like that, mom groups.
Yeah.
But how about this, though?
Yeah.
I heard in Korea, the friendship you make amongst like your school, your kids' classmates.
Oh, yeah.
Like the moms, like the parents. That's not real friendship.
Yeah.
It's hard to make a real friendship out of that because they're always competing.
Yeah, absolutely. And a friend called me not long ago. It was like, Onya, I met all the same school, you know, mother and everything. I was like, I can't do it. She just called me and she's like, I cannot stay with them for over an hour. It's too tiring for me. I was like, oh, okay. Well, what were they talking about? I was like, where they send their kids to school, you know, what they're going to do. And they have planned like almost everything up to university.
Yeah.
You know, like they're still in kindergarten, right? So I was like, oh, yeah. I mean, like just hang out with me. You know, we don't need to talk about those things. But it's such a stress when you mingle with people who are in this, like your kids have to become, you know, they're like trophies. You know, they have to do well. And if they get like great grades and great score, that's like a, you know, a 자랑거리 or whatever. You know, the big trend right now is not wearing a Chanel whatever brand bag, is having the eco bags with the name of the hagwon, like the hardest hagwons, you know, institute to get in. This is the newest trend among mothers.
Which is why there's the 칠세 고시, which is like people are taking exams.
삼세 고시 too, right?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
There's a 삼세. 3 years old?
Yeah, that's what I heard. Yeah, in those documentaries these days are talking.
I don't
about
understand
like,
that.
칠세고시, like 삼세고시, but I mean it's crazy. But so the trend right now is having the top bag, you know, the bag with the name of the institute they entered because it's so competitive. It's like having Harvard or like, you know, Princeton. Mark.
That's so ridiculous. Yeah. No, I realize that's a big thing because again, like they start off being friends because they have the common ground that they have kids going to the same school and stuff like that.
Same area and everything. And so now having a BMW, having a Mercedes, the key, it doesn't matter. If you put it on the table before coffee, it doesn't matter. You have to put the bag, you know?
That's so ridiculous. I mean, I've seen my wife lose friends because of stuff like this.
I mean, that's a good thing about socializing too. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be friends with everyone.
Right.
At some points, you're gonna have naturally. There will be a natural filter. You know, it's gonna be.
But in Korea, what they have is the 단체 카톡방, right?
You have to
the
maintain
group chat.
and like. But now you can leave quietly from that chat. You know,
and
조용히 나가기. I guess it became because of that, because you can be rude if you just get out of, you know, of a chat room.
I've seen people get hurt because of that. That's why I feel like school, like your like parents you meet through your children is like it's a really tough one.
So for me, there's one thing I don't do is I don't mingle too much with moms from school.
Yeah.
I mean, I share information, I get information, but if they say, oh, let's go on a play date, you know, I mean, I can do many other things than just going on a play date. Yeah.
Oh, it's so difficult.
Yes.
Socializing in Korea.
But it's important, yeah.
But I learned what I should do if I want to be like Olivia and be more E than anything. But I have to tell you, it is very tough.
E.
It's tough. Olivia, thank you so much once again. I'm learning a thing or two. And for our listeners out there, this is what it takes to socialize here in Korea. Have a safe one. We'll see you again next week.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right.